Hey guys, back with a new video, and today I'm gonna paint up Jinwoo from Solo Leveling. I followed the TV show since it came out. I really enjoyed this universe, so when I come across this awesome statue, I really straight up wanted to paint him up. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Let's jump into it. Now here I'm just using some base gray for the base. Just put it down. I want to make this base just to stand out a little bit more. This boss, it's a really hard boss and it's really creepy in a way as well, so I want to give him the same look, like more creepy, not just a plain old statue. Here I'm gonna use this black wash. Now go heavy-handed with it, don't hold back at all. And then I'm gonna take a paper towel and just remove the surface. So all the small cracks and details, I want to leave the wash in there. As you can see in the video as well, again, just remove the surface, but not the deepest parts of the sculpt, all the cracks and all that. This in the end will help us with the details on the statue to stand up more. Now with this blue horror, which is just perfect name for this statue, but I'm gonna go dry brushing again. I'm gonna go really heavy-handed over here with the brush. I just want to bring out all the highlights and details in this head sculpt. So go heavy as you can. Again, not too heavy because you don't want to fill in the deepest parts of the sculpt, just the top layer. You want to make it bright as possible, and after this we're gonna use a blue ink which will help us get to the color that I'm looking for. Now I feel like more effort you put into, especially in the base, more your base is going to look like what you imagine it. Sometimes I don't have the whole patience to do it properly, depends on the base. But this one, it really got to me. I really like it. The sculptor done an amazing work. Now I know there's lots of people using the hairdryer to dry the paints. I always use my spray airbrush just to blow some air on it. Not for too long, just for a little bit. But then I'm always let my paints dry at least 10 minutes between each paint. Now here I'm gonna use my favorite blue ink. I'm doing so much advertising for this ink. I'm using it on almost every single sculpt I do, and I'm just gonna go and pass over it. On some of the parts I will go really heavy-handed. Some of the parts I will go just a little bit lighter. I don't want it to stand out too much, but some parts I really want it to be that blue hue to come out of it. And you can see the final product as well is going to look amazing. And now here I'm going to use this contrast paint. This is somewhere between a white and a gray. And on some of the parts where I'm using it, for example eyebrows and everything, I'm gonna go really heavy-handed with it. I really like how it brings all the colors together, kind of in a way. So on this one again, I'm just gonna do the deepest part of the sculpt, the shadows, and the parts that they are usually a little bit more dark. Now with just the base black, I'm gonna do his eyes and his gums. think the black eyes really give like creepy vibes about him, and I just want to maintain that. Now my two biggest problem at the moment is with my phone. I'm recording and my storage on my phone, it will fill up so fast because of the 4K recordings, because I want to give the best quality so you can see as much as possible at the details I put in and everything. But because the 4K files are so high, my storage fills up so quick. And then the second one is my battery life, which is at the moment a big issue and a problem, because sometimes during the recording my battery life will go down so fast that I don't notice it, and then the files get corrupted or I lose all the recording. So I'm working on something to make it be less than an issue, but it will take sometimes. Even in this one I have 2 or 3 videos that I don't have too much footage because of the battery just got dead, or I didn't have enough space on my phone to save it. Now here with this blue black, I'm going to do his lips and his eyelashes, and maybe on the camera you don't pick it up as much, but this blue, it's really amazing, and I just want to do justice to this statue. All the details that were painted in and everything, it's just wanted to make it look a little bit more special. No guys, I just come across this statue by mistake, and I started talking with the sculptor, and then actually I managed to pick him up. If you do have like special channels or way to do these special sculpts that they're not mass marketed, like Wicked, Zaz, Cut 3D or anything like that, I would like appreciate it actually if you put it down in the comments or send me even in a direct message. I would actually be happy if you can point me towards these creators that they do amazing work, but it's not as common as the bigger ones. I really like to work with a couple of them to make some of their statues, paint them up, and do some videos out of it as well, if it's possible. And now here with my favorite black wash, I'm just gonna go back and do all the deepest cracks, I will say. Not all of them, just some of them, the biggest, the deepest ones, with this really dark black, and almost it's like gives a different life in the end to this statue. Now this black wash, it's not as strong as when you see it now. When it dries, it just blends in a little bit more better. At the moment it's really obvious, but after it dries, it looks amazing. I wonder how many people they have their specific paints that they're using for most of the statues. I have a couple of them, for example the blue ink, this black wash, a couple of more that I always use. Now at one point I couldn't put my hands on the black wash anymore, so I was using it just a little bit here and there, but now I managed to pick up a couple of them. If you have a really specific paints that you always use and you recommend it to other painters as well, put it down in the comments below, so anyone who watches these videos, they can see it as well, and maybe we'll be helpful hand to with some of the paints. Maybe I'm gonna do a tips and tricks about paints as well at one point. Maybe we'll see. Now here in a couple of seconds, I'm gonna start painting up his tooth, and this will be one of the parts that I told you earlier that I lost the footage. The camera just shut off and I recorded just the start of it. But unfortunately have a small part, so I can show you what I did here. I just painted around the tooth. I wanted to leave a little bit of gray, just a little bit, not too much, so you don't even notice it, but I just wanted to leave a little bit of the gray so it separates the tooth from each other. And now here I'm going to use a different gray just to do some edge highlights on the stones under his head. Again, just to give it a little bit more details. These sculptures deserve all the details that we can put in it. So and now here in a second we will see the translucent resin, and again the special parts were painted with the Anycubic translucent, and it's amazing. I have to say it's so easy to work with it, and it looks so amazing. Now here I printed everything in translucent, all the effects, and in the end the statue become really heavy. Now here I'm starting to paint up the translucent resin. These are the effects. This will be some like his power manifesting. If you're watching the anime, it will be something like Son Goku, just powering up, just the energy coming out. In this case it's a purple energy that comes out. So I'm gonna use 3 types of paints. So one of them is the contrast purple, the one I'm using here, and the other 2, they will be a little bit similar but different ink purple. And now the first purple ink, as you can see it here, is just a basic purple. So I'm gonna do the highlights over here with this one. So just the most raised parts of the sculpt, and I'm gonna go over the very first contrast paint as well, just a little bit. Now with this one, don't go too heavy. You want to leave it light as possible, because we're gonna go heavy-handed with the second one. Now a quick tip about translucent resin: never hollow them out, because they're not gonna look good at all. Hollow translucent resin, they look really bad, so try to make them as a full piece as much as possible. That's the best advice I can give you. Even when you have to cut it and then put it together, the lines are really hard to do it, because it's in the name translucent resin, so you don't see the defect as much, but as soon as you put the paint on it, all the defects kind of comes back out, and it's really hard to cover them up or hide them in a way. And now this is a second ink of the purple. This is darker, so with this one we want to go really heavy on the bottom and in the deepest parts of the sculpt. Remember, more you go on the bottom, more heavy you go, and try to spray it only in the deepest parts. Try to leave the highlights that you did earlier with no ink on it as much as possible, and this gonna make your translucent resin look amazing. And again, after we put the glossy varnish on it, it's just going to pop and just looks amazing. Now these here are the steps that I use for the whole base for the translucent resin for the special effects. I didn't record the big parts because it was really uncomfortable and really heavy, because the parts were glued to the statue already. So I tried to record it, but it was really inconvenient. So, but this is how I done all of it, so you have the knowledge what you need to do it. And now here we're gonna apply the glassy varnish on this one, and you can see it already on the camera that it just looks amazing. And I give a couple of coats, maybe 2 or 3 of this one. I'm looking for some glossy varnish that works a little bit better than this one. I'm happy with this one, don't get me wrong, but for these ones, I think after they dry a little bit, it's not as shiny as they supposed to be, but it looks really good. It still does the work. Here with this white ink, I'm just gonna pass a slight white on the middle of the sword, not too heavy, just a little bit, just to give that glowing effect a little bit to the sword. And now with the rest of the sword, we're gonna cover it up with some blue ink, and then we're gonna do the power effect in the middle with the black. Now I think I went a little bit, just a little bit heavier than I wanted to go on the sword with the blue. I supposed to leave it a little bit more lighter, but I think the white was a little bit heavy-handed as well. But to be honest, this is how we learn, so next time I'm gonna go just slightly a little bit less than here. Now here I'm just gonna put down some stain varnish just to protect my work, because I'm gonna have to paint up by hand the power effect in the middle, which is all black, so if I do any mistake, I don't want to ruin the previous work. Now here with black I have to paint up all the effect. I have to be really careful because I don't want to do any mistakes, and as far as I remember, not too many happened, so I was really happy with it. Again, this is gonna be a long part. You can enjoy it, you can watch it. I let you enjoy it, and then I'm gonna come back with some more comments after this part. And now with this alcohol ink, I gonna do the dagger, and this looks really good as well. And then the dagger doesn't have too many colors in it. It has just the red, and then it has the gold. So I'm gonna try to make it look a little bit more different. You be the judge how it came out in the end. Now here I have to go with this gold over the translucent red. I'm gonna be honest with you, this gold is not as good. It doesn't cover, it's really hard. I had to pass around 4 coats to cover it up. I think at this point I have to start and paint up this translucent resin with some primer by hand, because covering with the paint it's really hard. So if I pass some black or some other color, maybe a gray, it will be way easier than with the gold or the other colors. Now with this purple ink I'm trying to do some shadows, but I'm gonna be honest with you, when I put it here you can notice it, but then in the end it's really hard to notice. So maybe I suppose go with something darker, or the underred a little bit lighter. But anyway, I try here to make it look a little bit better. So here I forgot to do the hilt of the dagger, so I went back in and put down some red ink. So here with the varnish I done the same thing, just put down some really quick so I can paint up the rest of the dagger